Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, dear class. So my name is Shakhboz Mustafoev. Today I'm gonna present you about Mukarnas. At firstly, I would like to say appreciation, my thanksgiving for IDC, Turkey, also all people, members who invited me and organized such kind of perfect event. It's not easy to make such kind of events. I don't want to calculate all of them because I can forget some of them. So thank you everybody. So I am from Uzbekistan. I restored in the Tashkent University of Architecture and Civil Engineering and PhD. So today my presentation part divided to several parts: historical evolution of constitution element, how they made it in historical buildings, and how nowadays we work by Mukarnas. What kind of material we can use and how we can analyze them, how we can do new designs, and what kind of materials we can use in the future. And we, in second part of our workshop, we will do model, maybe by hand. At first, I will show by computer. You can do it by hand because nobody, most of our groups don't has laptops. That's why we will do in traditional way. To understand, I will make just a sketch of how to make a Mukarnas. We will do it fastly. The main goal of the presentation is to reveal etymological meaning of Mukarnas and place of origin, original types of selected structure elements, and evolutionary development. And one notice, which I present type of Mukarnas, it's related in Central Asia, not whole the world, because my research, my PhD thesis related with Central Asia. So there are a lot of scholars who worked with Mukarnas, and they give a lot of different versions, how they evaluated, how they made it. For example, Hamid Reza Kazanpur, in his research, referred to squinch. Yes? Squinch. Also, very famous Turkish scholar, Gülürün Hacipoğlu, also referred to squinch and niches in part of domes. If you see, they evaluated before the Islam. I also agree with them because my research findings get a result that most of element, not only Mukarnas, have basically, they have their basic and evaluate step by step. For example, Richa Raut from India, she yesterday showed us evolution of patterns, and you made a very simple types of giriks, if you remember. For example, Tuba Genç, for example, she teach us method of traditional way. And also, Miroslav Majewski showed a polygonal version. If you made a model, Marzia also showed polygonal version and using in octagon. We also will see such kind of elements in Mukarnas. If you don't know how to make geometric patterns, giriks, how to make a giriks, you cannot make a Mukarnas because main part is not 3D. Its main part is plan, 2D. Most of scholars think it's not related with analyzing geometric patterns. There is no, how to say, rule. There is no rule in modeling of Mukarnas. But it's not the same. We will see it. So, what is Mukarnas? Mukarnas is one of the most remarkable achievements of the Islamic architectural ornament. It's three-dimensional decorative system often compared to stalactite vaulting that serves both structural and aesthetic purpose in appearance in the domes, niches, architectural elements while adding rhythmic light shadows to the surface. For example, in this slide, you can see model of Ali Riza from Iran. You can see most of very important parts, which we will do in workshop. At firstly, we must to identify layers. Each layers we must be identified. Which one is first, second, third, and before that, after that we understand all layers, how to identify layers, we start to analyze them. Because very important thing in Mukarnas, for example, you can, in geometric patterns, giriks, you can turn a lot. For example, symmetric in other side, but in Mukarnas, they must go to Shams. The main part is named Shams, central part, and all part of Mukarnas, Kosagi and Poyagi, that must go to up and see to this side, not other side. For example, like Girik. You, based on this knowledge, you can identify plan of Giriks and Mukarnas. So, what is a Mukarnas? The Mukarnas is three-dimensional composition created by assembling in a variety of combination. Simple prismatic elements comparable to portion of walls on composite according to Price's rules in overlapping corbellate levels. For example, this is my model made for Islamic Civilization Center in Tashkent. You also can do such kind of project, but today we have only 2 hours to work. It's not enough for searching for how to say studying Mukarnas, but we will do all this process very fast and study very fastly. So, at firstly, as I mentioned, it's very important part. It's Mukarnas. It's layers. We call it takht in Uzbekistan. In Iranian, also call it takht. Yes, the same. Takht. Takht. It's layers. First layer, second, third, fourth, fifth. You should identify. And very important thing in a plan of Mukarnas. What is it? It must be only one. For example, Kosagi in this place, as you see, one. Not put it like this. For example, under this, you cannot put one more repeatedly. Not 2, only one. We need only one, like zigzag shape. For example, if you see this simple pattern, you have a takht. In 3-dimensional, you have the kosa. You cannot put two kosa, one place, one layer. It's very important thing. That's why when you identify, you should notice this. For example, one kosa, one poya. One kosa, it's going 1 0 1 0, like arithmetically repeating. Also this place. All layers the same. It's very important thing. But what? We have sometimes exception when we have no space. For example, what we know in designing traditional Mukarnas, proportion must be 1 to, for example, 1 meter, and B side is 2 meters. But in this case, architecture made place very short. The proportion was, broken. Because the architect don't know about proportion of Mukarnas. That's why we had a problem. Because we cannot stretch Shams. If you see, first lace is going radial, and this part is going one more radial. Have you seen? This Iranian Mukarnas also do like this. Because when you go radial, for example, and you go to wall, if you go up, you can touch to the wall. Like Turkish arches. They don't use this kind of arch. But Iranian and Uzbek traditional Mukarnas, they make it slowly appearance, slowly. Very like sculpture. So, what about term of Mukarnas? According to Doris and different scholars, they say that Mukarnas is Greece word, Koronis, which came from cornice. But Gulurun Naciboğlu and Asad, according to these scholars, they say Mukarnas came from Arabic word, Kırnas. It means like vault, stalactite vault, niche. Do you know what's kosagi? Kosa, it's bowl. If you kase. For example, there is term in Iranian Mukarnas sazi, there is kase sazi, yeah? Another type of Mukarnas. For example, kase sazi. Maybe it's came, but I searched a lot of books, a lot of scrolls also, but I cannot identify where came this term. Basically, nowadays it's very huge question. Yes, huge question. So, what about Russian scholars? Russian scholars also, I told about Pugachenkova. It's very famous architect and restorer in Central Asia. Also Rempel. I think Prof. Majewski told about Rempel, yeah? Yes? It's huge book about geometric analyzing, Girichs, also Mukarnas, little bit, and Islimi. Also Islimi. There are a lot of patterns and different types. They sorted of all of them. Also Pugachenkova studied about that, how they evaluated. Before he persuaded that before the Islamic in Central Asia was a Zardashti. In template, they in corner part they have such kind of squinch also related. It also has in Iran. For example, in this slide you can see vault of it's Neysar Atashkada. Neysar, yeah. Which century is this? Before Islam, as you noticed. But we have different also building which how to say ispatlamak mı? Kanıtlamak. Our meaning, our research. In this slide, I compare evolution with different countries also. But there is no Kosagi and Shams. But also Hamid Rza referred to this building. It's Bukhara. It's located in Bukhara. First, mausoleum. First type of mausoleum in Central Asia, which very close to Zardashti temples. It's cubic. Yes, it's cubic shape like this. Like this. It's Samani's template. Like Atashkada. The same. but there is no entrance portal. There is 4 entrance portals, like Kabatullah. It's mixture of Islamic and, how to say, pre-Islamic period. But after time, we can see that portal is becoming only one to show there is entrance and becoming evaluate domes. That's why also evaluated stalactite walls. At firstly, stalactite walls was constructive element, not decorative. Basically, it was constructive element. For example, it's in this slide you can see findings, Mukarnas based on archaeologists. For example, most of them founded in Iran, Nishapur, and on Taht-i Süleyman. Most of historical plan of Mukarnas made from plaster, it's made in Taht-i Süleyman. And what we have noticed, there is all of part of Mukarnas based, what kind of patterns? Eight-folded. Yes, based only eight-folded. Rhomboid, rectangular, rhombic, rectangular, all of them made by only one octagon. Just breaking, which you showed in your lectures. How to make different shape only based one octagon or decagon in this shape. Also we have, how to say, grid shaped like Richard yesterday showed. It's Mukarnas very basically, pre-version of Mukarnas. I will show. So it's origin of Mukarnas, also made with by baked brick. It's 9th century and it's nowadays in London. Dolt Samplanius persuades that it's made in 9th century. It's oldest one, oldest. We also have a special plans which made by masters, craftsmen. Yesterday, Prof. Majewski told about it. Daftari Girih. Our craftsmen, traditional masters who make girichs and stalactites, they have scrolls with patterns. For girichs, also for Mukarnas. I will show. We call it Daftari Girih. There are hidden, how to say, geometry, very secret. It's like crypto. Yes. There is no such kind of, for example, such kind of colored patterns. You cannot find it. There is hidden, just only line, but they mark it, for example, taht and Kosagi and Poyagi elements to identify layers. Also, in Turkey, there was a very famous scroll, Topkapi. You know about this. There are a lot of examples of Mukarnas based on the rectangular shape and very relative for 14th century, because some of them you can see evaluating process which break the rule, geometry rules. I will show. If you see finding, so I make a table which shows process of evaluation in Mukarnas in Central Asia. For example, first step, 8th to 9th century, it's based on squinch, just a squinch, and made by only mud. But when in second part, 9th to 10th century, in architectural buildings started to use baked brick. you can see dividing squinch to parts. Because squinch is, how to say, in a plan, it's like triangle. Yes? They just dividing. And dividing. Step by step, like...
I think the word squinch is coming from second.
Secunca.
Three conch. Conch is corner, so...
Yes. And, but this part, and first step, you cannot identify Shams because it's construction element. And in the plan, you can see one kosa. Do you see kosa? But it's like, how to say? Обрубленный, как будет? Обрубленный. Kesilmiş, like. Not slightly shaped, not arched. But it has functional meaning. And if you see the plan is made only one rectangle. Only rectangle. And third step, you can see finding is Shams. Because in this process is going, how to say, evaluating Shams. But we can see in a picture, evaluation process. This is palace from Termes Shah. You also can find a lot of very beautiful, how to say, giriks, geometric patterns, very relative to, what was the city yesterday? Divriği, very close to Divriği. And Syrian patterns. But made with ganj, which Ruta told about this material. Not gypsum, like Yusuf carved this. It's another temperature. It has a mixture of, we say, kır, special type of soil. It's become harder. So, in this table, you can see so my findings, and I found that first, how to say, prototype of Mukarnas was evaluated from territory of Khwarezm. I will show of analyzing of Shiro Takashi. Do you know Shiro Takashi? There is a website, Japanese scholar who has a lot of plans, all whole the world, also Sivas, Divriği, and he analyzed Mukarnas plan. But notice one thing, it has some mistakes. I think Hamid Rıza also checked it. Yes, it has some mistakes. Shiro Takashi's very important part. Plan is important part. If you want to analyze original, for example, Mukarnas, you should start very simple version, like this, rectangular shape. It's based geometry. Do you see geometry? For example, this part is made by 8-folded pattern. Yes, you can just divide two rectangle in 40 degrees. Yes. And what about this? It's repeating one more time. Yes? And corners, it's Kosagi. It's finding Kosagi. But what is main part? You must have to identify layers. Layers is very important. Because Shams and every layer you have to identify, not like Girih. After identifying, you go up to 3D, all layers will be the same. For example, in Turkey, traditional Mukarnas, only, even Shams has the same height. But Central Asia and Iraq, also different countries, there is difference. It depends on arch type. There are a lot of scholars calculated and give advices to make arches. There are a lot of types. For example, in Iran, they have Sharbavs who made Mukarnas and has a special type. He make a table of arches. Yes, Sharbav. Yes, Sharbav. So, but we have an exception in Samarkand. Do you see? It's become more smaller, and difficult. For example, 9th to 14th, because 14th century is Timurids period. When Timur captured the Konya Urgenç, he bring all of architects from the. Why Turkish and Khwarezm Mukarnas very similar? Do you think why? Most of your studied history very well. You're professional historian. Do you have relatives with Hiva, Azerbaijan, and Turkey? Azerbaijan also the same type of Mukarnas. Very, very close. You can even see the same, plans. The same plans. But construction material is different. Azerbaijan and Turkey, it's stone, limestone, yeah? But Hiva, it's brick. Konya Urgenç is brick. When Timur brings all masters from Iran, Azerbaijan, India, they started mixture. They started break the rule. Do you see the breaking the rule? There is hidden. They break a rule and proportion is disappeared in this part because layer become more. It's become difficult. You have to break the rule. After this, started new generation of new type of Mukarnas. Based radial shaped, which Tuba Genç showed. It's very close to such kind of Mukarnas. How they made? In my research, based on my research, I divided Mukarnas to 3 big group family. First family, second family, third family. But Shiro Takashi and Hamid Reza also, most of them don't want to say Iraqi to Mukarnas class. Maybe it's their opinion, but it's my opinion. So we also can divide it to 3 parts. For example, rectangular shape, which I shown before, and second type is radial, very close to Tuba Genç type, and third is avis, also very famous and popular in Iran, but we don't call it avis. I base it in Hamid Reza. I call this type of avis because Mukarnas is going don't going up. Shams part, it's going down. Starts going down, like column. Stalactite. Stalactite. And second type is Iraqi. We call all of them Iraqi, but based on scholar Ali Reza from Iran and Hamid Reza Kazanpur, we call it Rasmi Bandi, Kasekhzazi, and Yazdi Bandi. Yesterday, Marzia showed how to divide it correctly. It was perfect Rasmi Bandi. But we 19th and 18th, 20th century proportion in our traditional house started to broke. Not rectangular shape. It became how to stretch it. It start to stretch it. That's why they broke the rule. I put it this type to second family because basically it's also came from construction element of the domes. If you have a look at the squinch, for example, Ruta showed me Indian Europeans made just brick. It's very relative. I don't know how about we also see such kind of plants in Divriği. I'm sorry, this pronunciation. So what about Kasek Sazi and Rasmi Bandi? What difference? In Kasek Sazi, it's kosa, yes? Bowl. Sazi, it's working. There is not one Shams. There are a lot of Shams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And going up and going down. Going up, like, how to say? Like a waves. Kase, yes. But this type is mixture of these two types. Like it has a center, one Shams, but mixed with Mukarnas and Iraq. It's not 90 degrees. In this example, it's 19 degrees. In Yazdi Bandi, it has a, how to say, slight, like gumbas. Curved, arched. Not like 1 and 2. Two arched, two-pointed arched. And I make a table for Giriks and Mukarnas, like Mendeleev table. So, for example, Timurids period, what kind of Giriks? For example, grid-based, radial-shaped, or polygonal type, based on also Mukarnas. What kind of Mukarnas we can see in Uzbekistan? You can also do such kind of research. It's for students, masters, or in Turkey. Because I think they also have such kind of Mukarnas, a lot of types. Evolution. They and you have to show oldest one to compare to other countries. For example, Hamid Reza write it about Iranian and all of type of Iranians, Mukarnas. I am from Uzbekistan and somebody have to write about Turkish because there is no books about types and evaluation. Gülürün Najip oğlu, how to say, there is no analyzing process. But you have some scholars which gave only one building. But you have to work with more building. All buildings in Turkey. Because you have to find basic of this place. Also related in Girik. To identify it. Grid-shaped, radial, all modular, for example, Iranians told about this. So, in this table, I showed this part with picture to see. For example, Giriks, it's simple types and very difficult types. What kind of? One layered and two layered. And end of the Timurid periods, we can identify two layered Giriks. But what about Mukarnas? Mukarnas also the same. Very simple part and difficult type. We have three type difficult Mukarnas. Also mixed Mukarnas, also Rasmi Bandi, and mixed types with Mukarnas, but it's very simple because layers not much layers. The same is Shaybani's period, but if you pay attention, Giriks becomes more difficult, and become smaller because portal construction in this period is become more smaller, not like Timurid's period. It's different, not portal domed structure. It's crossed arched structure. Structure is different, that's why Mukarnas is different. So we can see in this picture proportion as Iraqi. We call Iraqi destroyed, but in third type we can see new type, mixed type, which has even Iraqi, Mukarnas, and Iraqi with arched version, going two parts, not going inside of niche. It's going to left and right. For example, so also the same process in Khanat period, 18th to 19th century. So in this period, they mostly used plaster, ganj, because it was cheapest architectural, material, yes. But what is difficult in this period? There has a lot of layer of Mukarnas, 24, 23 layers, with very small. When Mukarnas in reality become smaller, it's very difficult to make kosa with ganj. Big one is easier to work easier because you make a plaster slightly, very slowly. But what about little one? It's very like a jewelry. What about in this table? In this table you can find my thought. It's not imagination. It's work of craftsmen, 9th century, 16th century also. There has a lot of type of giriks, but without definition, without how to make it. But you can find it, secret based on line. They used special metal because there is no paper in that time. Paper was very expensive. They cannot make mistakes. At firstly, they draw this part, repeating part, in plaster and copied it to original paper very accurately, like Topkapi scroll. These are samples of these scrolls. This table is exceptional table. Exceptions, which broke all rules of Mukarnas. For example, where is Shams? There is no Shams. Just, Kosaki and Poeg. It's going, left and right side. But it's historical buildings. It has its character of Fergana school, very close to China. We have three main part of school. Kharezm school, it's very close to Turkish. And second type is Bukhara. Bukhara schools, it's another thing. It's very close to Iranian. It also has a lot of types of Mukarnas, also like Bukharian, also Fergana Valley. It's like encyclopedia. If you go to Bukhara, you always find something new. You cannot return without nothing. It's impossible. Every time when I go to new building, investigate new building, I find always something new for me. Even
Protected by UNESCO.
UNESCO, yes. But nowadays it's going reconstruction and restoration, renovation process, and most of buildings are starting to destroying. So Fergana Valley. It's very close to China. Also typology, colors, patterns, also the same. We can see exception in every period. Also in early Islam, Timurid, Shibanids, Hanat, and also imperial period also. Especially in Jewish synagogues. The mixture of, Jewish culture and Islamic. In Uzbekistan, you can find everything. Multi-religion country.
Multi-religious, multicultural.
And what about types? What the constitution elements of Mukarnas? So, in second part of my research, I investigate about parts. But mostly in Uzbekistan, we call just this part Shams, this part Naizagi. Hamid Reza, what you call this? Turanj. But we call but different shape, different angle. Yes. We just call it Naizagi. Наизаги это копье. Как переводится? Похоже на копье. Neize. Warriors have neize. Neize, the same? Okay. And kosagi. The type of kosagi, but Iranian have all names for all of them. All of them. Yes? Type of kosagi. Just this, our master say kosagi. And poyagi. Second type is what the difference between kosagi and poyagi. Poyagi, if you pay attention, it's going up and becomes thicker. What about kosagi? It's going smaller and downside is bigger, like arch.
So they compete each other.
Yes. Based on this, you can identify layers. Okay? This table made by me for to identify classification of types, like you made Girichs. Also, Sharbaf's books has Sharbaf has a special table for Girichs with names. I also tried. Ali Reza Salvadori helped me to make this table because I don't know Iranians names, Persian names. But why I colored it? This is just one type, but different shapes, different angle. It might be more. But main purpose is make a kosa. Shape of kosa, yes? Like this shape. And second type is orange. It's plan in 3D. The same, it's going up. Like a pocha leg. It looks like feet if you see in a plan. We also have a taht shapes. So 2D, it's 2D elements in this part. If you see in this part, every layer usually has such kind of shapes. Philosophers says it meanings of prophets. Shams, it's Allah. Because in Mukarnas, only one Shams. Allah is one. But layers in different, because prophets came in different times, different periods. For example, layers. 1 layers, 2 layers, surf layers, different layers, Zami. Because this have to stay somewhere. It cannot fly. What about method of construction? In traditional way. Traditional way, at firstly they made a geometry, and choose a type of Mukarnas based on material, which, for example, in Horizm and Termes, it's very famous baked brick. Make a Mukarnas in baked brick. But what about Samarkand, Bukhara schools? It's more popular plaster. Also, Kalshinburush, Kalshinkari, what you called Muarraq, working with Muarraq. But nowadays it's become very, very popular in Uzbekistan. I don't know. It's maybe influence of Iran. Iranians make such kind of Mukarnas a lot. Daily, daily even. Every building. And different type. Especially in Karbala, yes? Karbala is very, it has very, how to say, magic types of Mukarnas. I like photo which you sent. Also, but what about, and second types, when you choose a material, you have to make a plan based on material. If you make a plan very big, for example, plaster, it will be very, how to say, not beautiful, not attractive. It depends on material, layers between, spaces between them. If you see in a picture, you can see our traditional master from Bukhara, Usta Shirin Muradov. Have you heard about him? So this is a scroll, his scroll, which I found in archive materials recently. If you see, you cannot identify anything at all. Where is the layers? Difficult type. It's easier, but we have 16th century, how to say, scroll. It's very difficult to identify. More than this. If you imagine how to make such kind of Mukarnas yourself, not copy, because these days, they don't have 3D modeling softwares, computers. They just use it, compasses and rulers. Yes? Especially Professor Mirek studied a lot about this. We talked about a lot in the mail. Based on this, they make models like a paper cutting. You have book bullets, yes? The special, like a mosaic. You make a models and put mosaic, like to don't draw every time. For example, if you see this part, it's based on circles, like you show. Traditional way and computer way, the same. But we skip this part. I will show it. It doesn't matter which way you choose. Main part, important part, it's a result. It must be just correct. You will choose grid type or radial type. It doesn't matter. So, after draw the plan, they make layers with plaster. It's making traditional way and in plaster. But what about Stone. What about stone? They carve whole layer. Just give a thick layer, like thickness like this, and carves it step by step, and put them step by step to construction. But what about plaster? They identify, if you see, it's going radial shaped, yes? All based in traditional method. But Poya and Kosa, some parts they broken. They broken symmetry to make it more rounded. Because it must go rounded. That's why we call second type radial shaped. So when you make a plaster, you will cut it. You will cut like this picture. After that, they fill the all layers with plaster and carve it with ganj. What you call Yusuf showed. Revzen. Like a revzen. You will cut it. Kosa. You fill all layers, plaster, and cut it. Do you understand me? What about non-traditional way in nowadays? Basically, planning system, the same. For example, I was working with traditional master from Kashkadarya. His name is Shamsuddin. Shams is the same. Shams. So we worked for Islamic Civilization Center, portal, all domes, all patterns also with them is traditional ceramic tile maker, which I told you about this guy. So if you see height of every how to say kosas, it's very big, especially in only part of Mukarnas, very huge, and made with mosaic, huge portal. We made it step by step. So I made mixed type. It's a mixed type. If you see, it's mixed with Mukarnas and Iraq. But notice one thing. The layers not the same, yes? Because in Iraq, we have no space. We have no space. It's stretched. Portal is stretched. To solve such kind of problem, we divided two rectangle and this rectangle. It's a rectangle, radial. That's why it looks beautiful. Slightly going. And after that, we broke this rule. It's not symmetric. Based on this line. This part and this part is not the same. But for this part and this part, we make a model and just repeat it. So if you make a Mukarnas incorrect in your software, you cannot make a, 3D. It will have spaces between polygons. Have you worked with 3D Max? Everybody? You. Do you use it? For example, if the polygons don't touch with each other, when you rendering, will be gap. You also cannot print it in 3D printer. I also want to teach you how to make a model for 3D printers. We make a model because it's very huge project and they cost a lot. If you make mistakes, we have a big problem in that case. That's why we printed it, 3D models. So I made the 3D models. I will show process, but if you pay attention, there is one layer, one line. Process, it's making second lines, it's very difficult. Qatar will be very beautiful. Perfect. I will show in the model. Because you cannot see in the presentation, especially this part. This part's very difficult to make and keep them get together. It was a big problem. So, video. It's 3D printed. It's model. At first step, we make a model. So, I told about this. It's give special shape, and also when you make a mosaic, it stick to each other. I told this process. If you see one poyagi, one poyagi, it's must repeat 1 0 1 0 1 0. It will very perfect and beautiful. And we use a different color, but it's not our traditional colors. So it's when I draw Islami for every part, every kose, process and overlapping all process, and its backside. We cut it mosaic by one. So, but we use non-traditional way with special tools, and some parts need to correct because handmade thing always have some problems with sticks, because when you bake the clay, it has deformation. When liquid go up, it's become smaller. It's very difficult process making mukarnas by ceramic tile. We have two types. For example, at first we make a plaster with a clay and draw a picture and cut when it's soft and bake it. And second type, like traditional way. We put the parts with paper and just cut it. But it's dusty, and everywhere will be dust, a lot of dust. So, but second traditional way, sticks will be very, correct. And third type, we use CNC. Have you used CNC? When you make a mold, chimney tile, when you make chimney tile plaster, you put into CNC and use a very special nail for cutting. Very 0-1, very pointy nail. Yeah, pointy nail, and cut just it. After cutting, you put to oven to bake it. They will be stick even better than handmade. Very exactly, yes. You can choose what you want. It depends on your budget, what you have in your studio. So next step, it's we didn't use it ganj because it's huge portal at firstly, and second, it's very heavy. A lot of ceramic there and very heavy. That's why we use it carbon. First step, we spray, and after that we use it smaller, and when we finish it, we made a metal construction backside because it will be lighter and stronger. So in this place, You can see transportation part. It's very, how to say, huge. We make a scotch to protect it. How to say, shape parts. Sharp parts, yes. So after this, what kind of geometric principle would you choose? It doesn't matter. For example, in this scroll, 16th century, you cannot identify, for example, layers. Yes, you can also use such kind of traditional methods in new architecture for old plans and make 3D polygonal system. For example, in Buzjani scrolls, Al-Kashis, there are a lot of examples of making arches. This which you showed, but making 3D process, just the same. Trust me, man. But when you choose a mixed type, if it's proportional 1-to-1 rectangle, it will be very, very perfect Mukarnas, because diagonal will go to this connect, symmetric, and will appearance very beautiful. Its main, how to say, rule. It's Al-Kashi's methods, how to make Mukarnas arches, but I make it fast and just cut it. You can do like this. I will show making process. Do you know how to make arch? Do you know? Do you know these methods? Okay, I will show. So in this case, you can see traditional scroll. We will do this example based on geometric patterns and without breaking the rule of girih, sazi. So you can practical way. What kind of material to make easier? Easiest way to make it just with paper. It's very cheap, at firstly cheap, and you can make a mistake, just broke it, you make it one more time. After that, you can go to Fomix. Fomix Türkçe'de. Strafa. And next step, you can use a ganch, plaster. The same process. With paper, Fomix, ganch. After that, maybe ceramic or wooden. It just your. But easiest way is printing. When you model it, I always print because we have a printer in our university and also in our studio. We check it, how it's correct, how it's look like, and after give to customer. If you want to make and earn money from this, you have to invest. So it's when we made the models for 3D printer. I advise to use such kind of tools also. It's very interesting to print also not 3D, 2D tiles, relief. Next step, you have non-traditional architecture. A lot of architecture, for example, airports, for example, also in Ankara, you can modify them. We also modifying nowadays in Tashkent, Mukarnas. For example, it's basically this idea given from Doha Mosque, basically. It's like a impression from theory when Prophet Muhammad was in a cave. He got first ayat. Yes? Iqra, yes, Iqra. Bismi Rabbika ana. İlk ayet. it's like a cave. It's like a light. It's symbolize of Jibril alayhi salam. Like how to say, we cannot show how to say person or something like Christians. Yes, we symbolize it. You can also symbolize it. It depends. Also the same example, just using it's brutal style. Yes, brutal mating was concrete. For conclusion, what I want to say, it doesn't matter what kind of method you will use. Important thing is result. Result must be correct and beautiful. Thank you, everybody. So we'll have a break, little bit break, and I will show process of making modeling. So please attention. We start second part. So I will share with you these papers. At firstly, you have to identify layers of takhts. Each layers, how many layers they have. For example, where is Shams? Where is second layer? Where is third layers? Just identify it, and write it. For example, first layer, second layer, third layer. If you want to work independently, you can use this site. There are all of plans related with Mukarnas. You will just choose a region. Please attention. So there is a Turkey. Sivas. Where is Sivas? Sivas. So Sivas, for example, Bursiye, Medrese, Sifahiye. There are a lot of plans. You can choose it and make analyzing yourself, to independent yourself. Best way to study is not draw by yourself. Its best way is copy. At firstly, you have to copy, and you will understand what's going on. Okay? You have to identify layers just to understand. For example, I put a mark to Kosagi, and Poyagi is white, black and white. You can just write, for example, Poyagi P, for example, Kosagi K, Shams S, She. Okay, just letter, put a letter, and write layers. We will design this Mukarnas. If you want to design or analyze any kind of Mukarnas, for example, in Bursa or Ankara, Konya, it doesn't matter. Where you need plan photo. Okay, you go for building and go to up and take a picture from bottom. You will have such kind of photo, for example. If you cannot do analyzing by yourself, just use this site. In this website, you can find any type of Mukarnas, but be careful because it's a little bit, how to say, it has some mistakes. You have to notice it. That's why you need 3D plan, photo. So at first, in a sheet of paper, draw middle line. Draw. Everybody, draw middle line of the paper. Draw, please. We make a plan. At firstly, we make a plan. We make a plan. Based on a plan, we make a 3D. Using a paper. Just a paper. Okay? At first, we make a plan. Based on plan, we make a 3D, like this paper. Please follow this. You have paper. Just draw middle line. Do you see? Have you drawn? You have to divide all angles for two parts. For two parts. Who don't have transporter? Who don't have transporter? You can use just only circles. Everybody knows how to divide angle to equal part using compasses. For example, if you want to make this line using by compasses, just draw any circle. It doesn't matter which radius is this. For example, you must draw one circle. Look at this. One circle, you will copy it to second part. Do you see? 2 points. You have 2 points. 1 and 2. These 2 points make it 45 degrees. For example, if you have not transporter, you use just circle. Put any circle, any radius, it doesn't matter. You have to mark points in one places, okay? Look at this. You have line, it's 90 degrees. You have to draw 45 degrees, yes? How you draw without compasses? You make a 1 point, and second one point is it doesn't matter. It might be bigger, smaller, it doesn't matter. Just mark one distance, okay? Yes? For example, it's 90 degrees, yes? Second. You have to find this degree. And you, second point there. You draw, for example, circle bigger, visually bigger than this. Okay? And the same diameter in this place. When they cross, you have 2 points, like this. Like this. It's 45 degrees. It's very easy thing which you studied in geometry class in school program. It's so also you have to divide this part. Divide it. Have you done? 45 degrees. After that, you have to divide it one more time. Okay? It's 90 degrees. Yes? You divide it to 45 degrees. After that, you have to divide this part. You need bisector. So you have to find this point. This point. Do you see? $22 and $5. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
Why you need this? Because if you pay attention for the picture. Look at this, please. Student, please. Pay attention. We have eight shaped polygon. Have you seen? Do you see? We have to find this triangle. Do you see? It's based on 8 folded patterns. Do you see? Pay attention, please. Students, pay attention. Okay? That's why I need to divide it. And based on this, we make a 8 folded. And there is 2 rectangles. Okay?
45.
Yes, 45. Yes, yes. 1, 2, 3. So, 1, 2, 3 octagons. 8 folded patterns. And 2 rectangles. 1 to 2. Okay? It's just like a girih. The geometric patterns we have drawn a lot. It's very simple thing which you do every day. Do you see? It's your triangle. You have to draw this. It's like like this rapport, which you always draw in your classes. It's simple thing, very simple. At first, you have to draw triangle. She divided and find a point. Just draw it. Draw it, circle the same radius.
Here?
Yes, yes.
It doesn't matter. Oh, okay. The radius. Şuradan şuraya kadar.
It will be octagon. Thank you everybody, to every person, especially for IDC also gave me such kind good opportunity. So I need more time, such kind of, because it's a little bit difficult. As you see, it's not 2D only. You have to go further. So thank you everybody.